I'm streaming. Am I streaming? Maybe. Let me see here. Yes. Okay. I think. Let's see here. Yes. Okay. I think. Yeah, it all seems good. Yes. Okay. I think. Yeah, it all seems good. Yes. Okay. I'm getting a little feedback as I check this. Let me try turning the sound down. I hope the sound does sound good. All right. Let's see here. This is The Sims 4. This is The Sims 4. This particular build right here that we're looking at is Taylor Square. I've been working on this just forever. It's my last build of San Sequoia. It's my last build of rebuilding San Sequoia. And it is actually the one that, or one of the ones that I would say I really like best, because it's very still suburban single family, but the overall layout and positioning of the homes and this sort of community more fits my sort of sensibilities when it comes to civic planning. So you can see you have a very close community, right? You have people that want to live by each other. They do want some privacy. They do want some separation, but they don't mind, say, sharing the front yard, right? Sharing the backyard. All the kids come together, and it's a sort of multi-generational setup. So you have a lot of different house sizes and styles. What we have as we tour here, we have 3 one-bedroom units or 3 one-bedroom kind of homes. Itch my nose there. 3 one-bedroom homes, and that's great. It's great for senior citizens. It's great for young adults. It's great for maybe people with, in fact, we'll go over it here in a little bit. It's great for people who maybe have just a small child or a baby, people that are just starting out. Then you have 2 bedrooms for people who are maybe doing their first move up home. Maybe they have a small family. Again, maybe it's a senior citizen that expects a lot of visits from their family, so they want a guest room. And then you have 3 bedroom houses or 4 bedrooms. It could be 3 or 4 bedrooms. I did this as a standard 3 bedroom with a family room. This one I did as a 4 bedroom because in the case of the Michelsons, I went ahead and made Grandma Michelson here. She lives with them to help take care of the baby, right? Because both mom and dad do work, and she was getting older. Her husband's passed on, and rather than go to a senior citizens center or a senior citizens kind of living, arrangement, like assisted living, she wants to live with her family, and her family wants her to live with them. So that's this house back over here. Now, what we'll look at is first kind of the exterior. All the houses are designed to have large front porch areas, right? Because it's to help foster that sense of community. And I'll say right off the bat, this community in a lot of ways is inspired by my community, but it's actual being put into practice in other areas, of course, in the country, not just where I live. And where I live was not unique. This is an old idea. It's about a century old. Very common back in Los Angeles, but also other areas, including my own state of Oklahoma. And what it was called was bungalow apartments. And you'd either have small family homes like this, single family homes, very close together with a shared kind of common courtyard. Or they might actually be connected, with a common wall in between each one's, but the fronts would look like single family homes. And then you would either park around back here, or oftentimes all the parking would be back in this part, and whoever lived up here would walk to get to their unit. In my particular housing addition, and if I edit this, I might take a picture of where I live and kind of show what I mean. My particular addition, the parking is all around back. We have roads that come around back, park around back. So up front, you just have front porches that are pretty close to the street, right? Pretty close to the street. People can talk as they're walking around the neighborhood. They can even talk to each other, which was really interesting and very handy back during COVID. When the town was shut down, everybody had to stay home. My neighborhood is a bit like I've put forward here. We have single people living here. We have senior citizens living here. We have families living here. And it's a great generational spread and mix. And during COVID, we had each evening what we called the 5 o'clock wave, right? So everybody would go out on their front porch and wave to everybody, because it's distant enough that we're not super close. You're not going to spread COVID that way, but you could see each other and you could see who was still there. And it was especially important, I think, people felt like, for senior citizens that were so susceptible, right? So if they didn't come out and wave, you would think, hey, maybe we should check on them closer, right? Maybe we should send them a text. Maybe we should give them a phone call. Maybe we should even check with their family members, make sure what's going on. And so that was a great way to communicate. And it was easy in our neighborhood to talk back and forth to people on their front porches, from your front porch to their front porch. Again, you're not talking smack up against each other. So there's a little bit of separation, but it was close enough we could interact. And that was the great thing about this sort of community, right? My community is not exactly like this. We do still have a big road running down the middle of it. Well, not too big, but a road running down the middle of it, like a traditional subdivision. But otherwise, yeah, it's very close together. During COVID too, you would also get a lot of people who would say, hey, if you need anything, I'm going to the grocery, especially as younger people were maybe less concerned, which does not mean younger people did not get COVID and did not die of COVID. But maybe we're less concerned and less susceptible to dying from it. If we were going to the grocery store, or to a local restaurant, that was rare, but maybe something like that, some sort of necessity in town. You say, hey, do you need me to go for you? Need me to pick something up? And then I can leave it on your front porch on the way home. Right. So anyway, this does kind of, feel very familiar to me. It is a lot like where I live. But the history is, of course, bungalow apartments from Los Angeles in like the early 19-teens and 20s. So with a 1-bedroom here, now as you can see, I have furnished 3 units, a 1-bedroom, a 2-bedroom, and a 3-bedroom. Well, actually a 4-bedroom, because it's the Michelson's house unit. And then I have 2 1-bedroom that are empty, a 2-bedroom that's empty, and a 3-bedroom unit that is also empty. So if you want to furnish those yourself, you can. We'll talk about how I use this lot kind of towards the end of this particular tour. But for now, you can see how it's set up, right? I did turn them at different angles so that when you're looking at them from the sidewalk, say you're walking down the street, they all look a bit different, right? Instead of turning them all the same direction so you get the exact same elevation, and it looks a little more cookie cutter. This way, they look a little more unique, a little more custom done, even though they are exactly the same, except for the color. The color is different, of course. The outside patterns. This one has a stone first floor. This one has siding on both the first and second floors. The floor plans, though, are the same. So you have in a 1-bedroom, you're going to come into the living area, which is relatively small, but big enough for a couple of chairs. We've got a fireplace, TV, or sofa. This is a relatively clean one. This one is not cluttered up very much. We've got a small dining area in our kitchen. Ooh, and I need to fix that real quick. I'm glad I caught that. A little bit of the bush poking through the wall there. Let me pull it like this. There we go. There's our kitchen. A nice traditional kitchen. Good size for a 1-bedroom. I think if this was an apartment, it'd be a pretty good size for a 1-bedroom apartment. Got all of the necessities you need, right? Stove, dishwasher, refrigerator, and sink. And then back here, we have a combination, again, because it's a smaller place, half bath, guest bath, and laundry room. So in here, we're going to have, the sink, toilet, some storage, a lot of extra storage in this particular laundry room, and then our washer and dryer, and the hamper, right? Hamper there. On this, and then here I just put in some bookshelves. You could, I felt like it was a little tight, but you could put a desk here instead as kind of a home office. I went with bookshelves. I did not put a railing here. I know in some of these I did. It didn't there. It must be the other one back in the corner. I must have put a railing on. And some of this, as you can see, there's a few places I missed a little bit of paint there. I'm going to try to catch that as I'm touring it. That is part of the reason for this tour is a little bit of play testing and a little bit of catching a few things like that. These were a lot of builds. This was essentially building 7 houses, 7 houses all at the same time. So that's our first floor for this particular 1-bedroom unit. Now on the second floor, you have an open 1-bedroom. There was really no need to close it off. I suppose in theory, on the first floor, you might have a pull-out love seat or sofa where friends could stay over. But up here, typically you're probably going to be alone, right? Well, no, you might have a friend or a boyfriend or some girlfriend or something staying over, but typically there's no need to have the privacy of a wall there, and it makes it feel more open and spacious. Plus, you get this great view from all these windows and all the light coming in. In this case, I also set up his office up here. In this case, him. That's Mr. Michelson, of course. I have not locked them. I haven't locked the doors to the units on this particular lot. That's, again, towards the end here when we talk about how I would use it in game. I'll talk about how I kind of set that up. But in this case, yeah, I haven't locked anybody out of any particular areas yet. He's got some more storage here, bookshelves, drawers, kind of upper storage, right? On this side of the room, we've got some more bookshelves here where you could put like collectibles, knickknacks, maybe clothes even. You've got 2 closets. These are more of the standard sliding door closets as opposed to a walk-in closet. Again, with it being a sort of 1-bedroom cottagey feel, this just worked better. I could have maybe tried to jury rig or force in some sort of walk-in closet, but it felt really unnecessary. And I felt like from a real life point of view, this was more what I would expect in this sort of build. Whoever lives here likes the color blue up here on the top floor, right? Nice big blue rug. And then a smaller bath up here for the owner of the residence. Again, it's small, but it is fully functional. Now, in real life, let's talk real life for a minute. We don't have this really in game. In real life, there would probably be a shower head here with this tub that would still be open to this window, right? So that you could shower, pull the curtains and shower, or don't pull the curtains. Maybe you're not embarrassed. You're not worried. You are body positive. You are who you are. You're not afraid someone seeing your backside while you take a shower, right? So maybe you shower with that. That's not possible in game, but that is kind of the look I wanted. So I just put a tub in. Long story short, where I'm going with all that, I just put a tub in, a sink, and a toilet. Again, this is a 1-bedroom. It's a 1-bedroom, fairly small cottage. So you just have one sink up here. Again, maybe for a couple, someone might get ready down here, right? You could set this up where maybe the guy gets ready, goes down there and shaves, brushes his hair, stuff like that. So yeah, and also for a couple, you do have kind of dual closets, one for him, one for her, or maybe 1.5 for her, half for him. Maybe 1.5 for him, half for her. I don't know. Maybe if you're 2 guys, I don't know how you're going to divide that. But however you want to divide it for your Sims, you go right ahead. It is your game and your decision. One thing I might do real quick now that I'm looking at this, I do think I could go ahead and put in what we refer to as a high boy, at least where I live, which is then over the toilet sort of cupboard. I don't know. It does feel a little close there. And I feel like if I'm going to do that, I'd almost have to put a wall across here. I mean, I wouldn't. Maybe if I did just a smaller version of this. Again, just to give us a little more storage. Can a sim get in there and go to the bathroom? Let's find out. We'll do a quick play test here and see if they can. We're going to change the color of that to more match the color that we already have in here, right? Right. And then we will go live. Boy, my nose today. Okay, let me just tell you, allergies in Oklahoma right now are crazy. And that includes mine. And I was out with my son playing Pokemon Go today. We were playing Pokemon Go and had some lunch out today. But then it got warm, got really warm. It is 3,000 degrees here in the state of Oklahoma today with about 300% humidity, which means that you have the effective temperature of the surface of the sun right outside my front door. Oh, look! Orion got Babel unlocked. The cutest baby in the world. I mean, I love my baby in game. Okay, it works for him. I love my baby in game. I love baby Max, but Orion was one of the cutest babies I ever saw. Really was, with those glasses on. She just looked so sweet. I don't know. There was something about her in the trailers that really struck me. And I did like the Michelson family a whole lot. That's why I wanted to make a really special lot for their home, and that's why they live here. So my son and I were out today, and then I came back here when it got too hot to rush inside to the comforting confines of American-style air conditioning and save myself. Now, we're going to look at this empty one-bedroom over here real quick as just a sort of example of what I might do with this sort of unit in-game, and especially if I built this on a lot by itself. You can see one thing I did here as an alternate for this type of unit is I set the fireplace back into the wall, into the chimney area, right? Which oftentimes you might see something a little bit like that because a lot of fireplaces nowadays are natural gas or just faux fireplaces, so they don't actually need to vent outside. And that gives you more, gives you more space here in the living area. Not a lot, but a little bit more to spread out. Now up here, what I did was I created another very small room. My thought on this was, and I took out the closet. So you got a closet here, right? You could put a closet there. I have left this open. I have not actually put a closet in there. I did use the closets from Get Together for this style of closet. In fact, I could throw one in there maybe. But I thought this would make a small closet too, so you'd have like two closets, a larger one and a small one. And probably I would go in and maybe outfit them with something from Dream Home Decorator or something. But I could grab, where is it here? I keep it on hand because I use it all the time. Closet with mirrors is what it's called. I'm a little nervous that it doesn't show a picture of it there. You guys, the gallery's all screwed up right now. If you haven't been playing the game and aren't aware, they fixed it. They're updating it. And it's a little screwed up right now. Things are kind of a little off. There we go. There it is. I'm going to grab that real quick and put it in here. These sort of closets, usually I feel like you see with mirrors set in the door because it makes the space feel bigger, and then you can kind of try clothes on, right? So I did set some mirrors in there one day, and then I just saved them. It was a small room, so I could grab it easily and not have to save the mirrors each time. Okay, so now that we're done with the closets, the reason why I did this is there's still enough room to put a bed here in this 2x3 space and be able to walk around it. You still have a little bit of area here where you could put maybe a desk area, put an office area, or you could put dressers here, something like that for the upstairs area, because you could also put an office here, right? As I talked about with the other unit. And you still got your small bathroom over here, place for the tub, or you could put a shower in there. There's going to be a tub in this one because what I did here was create a little small bedroom. Now, it is a very small bedroom. You're like, Jason, that's not a bedroom. It is a bedroom. It is a bedroom. It's a very small bedroom. It doesn't have a closet. So in a lot of communities, a lot of localities in the United States, you're right. It would not be counted as a bedroom. You'd probably have to call it an office or a den if you were selling this as a real estate agent. But what I intended this for was an infant, right? As a small nursery or as a toddler. So if you are a young family and you don't have a lot of money yet, but you can afford a one-bedroom here and you want to live in a nicer area, this might be an option and a way of adapting it where you could put a little toddler bed here, right? It's a little toy chest and maybe a little space here to play and just create some privacy to separate the toddler from the main bedroom. Or like I said, the infant, right? So that's kind of what I was intending it for, was maybe a family with an income. I don't want to say lower because this really is not lower income housing. I think anybody looking at this edition knows that. And that's not what we're trying to build necessarily here. But again, maybe lower, right? Lower middle class maybe. Gives them a chance to live here, a family of three, maybe with a young kid. Could you put a child in here? Well, you could. You could put a child's bed here with a nightstand, or maybe even like that small desk could fit there with a chair. So yeah, you could. But I would do an infant or a toddler, and it would work out actually pretty well. A toddler would not care. This would be more than enough space for a toddler. So that's just one sort of adaptation of the one-bedroom setup designed to accommodate a greater range of income possibilities, right? Right. And I actually do really like that unit. I would use it that way as a person, as a real life person in the United States. I wouldn't have any trouble going in and with a toddler or a young kid or whatever, and letting them use that as a bedroom while I use this part. Okay. So now you're thinking, hey, Jason, we have 2 bedrooms, right? We do have 2 bedrooms as well. We have 2 2-bedroom units. This is the empty one, or at least mostly empty. I did put a table here, right, to kind of give an indication of where the dining space is. I mean, I think most people could figure it out, but hey, they always put it on floor plans and stuff, right? So I did too. Now, one thing I'm going to do real quick is I might throw in some more kitchen cabinets in here. I don't really have to. I mean, this is kind of an unfurnished unit, so people can finish it themselves. I think that's kind of what I was thinking, when I was doing this, was people might not even want these particular cabinets in there. They might not have these cabinets. They might not like this color. So they're probably going to kind of put their own spin on it, right? But I'll go ahead and throw some in there real quick. So we have a little more complete look at what this would look like. So we've got this setup, right? Nice big kitchen, really big kitchen, in fact. I mean, this is a very sizable kitchen. These are people that like to cook, and I would say like to have their family over or have a larger family, even though it's only a 2-bedroom. Again, this might be great for a senior citizen because they like to have their families over, right? They're having their families over and they're going to cook and they're all going to get together in the kitchen. And it's really open to the living room, right? So everybody can kind of hang out together. This is another example where I pushed the fireplace back to give more room. I set this up as bars. You can put bar stools there. And one thing you can do once you have bar stools there is, let me see here. What have I got to use for a bar stool? That looks good. Is you could kind of set this up as an office. So you could put a computer on this. And so you have kind of a kitchen office set up, right? Because there isn't really any place to eat at a bar in here, but I don't think you need it. You have a table right in the kitchen. So I didn't really worry about that. One thing you could do too is wall this off as a 3x2 area and put a laundry room in there. You could do a stackable washer and dryer, a sink and some storage above it on this side, and a door in the middle. A lot of people in the United States do not like the laundry room directly off the kitchen like that. I don't know why. Don't ask me, because we are. Because we are who we are in the U.S. But that's one option you could do for this particular build. And then there's also a half bath, right? There's a half bath over here for the guests to use over by the stairs. One thing I did put in here, and I haven't done much with it, is I created kind of an entryway for this particular unit, this particular 2-bedroom. You'll see this 2-bedroom is different than the other 2-bedroom. But I did put a sort of entryway here. You could put some tables and stuff maybe to put things on, for when you're coming and going. It's a little bit like a mud area kind of, where you can take your shoes and stuff off, before you enter the house proper. There was also, I did a version of this and I ended up not keeping it. Because I'm a fool. I don't really know why. But I did a version of this and ended up changing it where this area here was the living area, and then this was a bedroom on the first floor. Again, so if you had a senior citizen with mobility issues, or any age really with mobility issues, and since we don't have elevators in game, I mean, in real life, you could put like an elevator that would go up the stairs in that case, or a small elevator would go up, but that's expensive, and also we don't have it in game. So this was actually set up as a bed and bath on this side with a smaller kind of living kitchen dining area in this area here, right? For whatever, and I think I had the stairs over here. And for whatever reason, I didn't end up keeping that design. I did like it. And I kind of made this a 2-story space, so it was very voluminous. And then there was a second bedroom up here on the second floor. I think in a lot of ways, I kind of felt like if I was going to do that, why not just make this a smaller 3-bedroom? You could do that too, because it did fit and it did work really well. But I don't know why I didn't keep it. It's really weird now that I think about it. I just didn't, but you could do it that way. Up here on the second floor, of course, you got bedrooms and bath. And what I did on these particular units is I put the laundry room on the second floor. So there's a sink here for the laundry usage, and our washer and dryer and our hamper, right? Of course. That is pretty common in the United States. I mean, it's not unheard of. You see it every so often, where they will put the laundry on the second floor if all the bedrooms especially are up there, because all of your laundry is generated from right here. The main bathroom and this, you might have a couple of dish towels from down in the kitchen, but pretty much everything's generated here on the second floor. So why not put the laundry room up there to keep him go up and down the stairs so much, right? Right. Over here, we have a walk-in closet. I did not outfit it, and then a regular standard sliding door closet for the other room. Now, let's look at the furnished version of this. This is how I did the furnished version. So, it's quite a bit different. It really is. When you look, the doorway's in a different area, and the setup of this place is really different. I like it. I do like it. You have a great open kitchen here. Great dining room in the back of the house, right? Off the kitchen. You have a place to eat here, maybe for kids or something. There's a little office back here for family use. Got our bookshelves and our living room on this side. And then, of course, a small sort of entrance area coming off the front door. The reason why I decorated this unit, I think in the end I did like the layout maybe a little better than the other one. So I ended up decorating this unit for that reason. But I like the front porch on the other one better. I'll say that. Over here, again, we're going to have that mixed laundry room and guest bath, right? Yeah, laundromat, I did a little bit of decor in here. Got our hamper, got our washer and dryer, toilet sink, tall boy cabinet. Who is over here right now? Grandma's over here right now. Let's do a quick test with her and see. I'm going to try. Hopefully she changes clothes here. I'm hoping the clothes go into this hamper, and we'll just test the washer and dryer real quick. Again, this is a nice open plan. Very modern, right? Very much in keeping with modern tastes. Everyone can kind of hang out together. Ignore her clothes. I have not dressed her very much. I only picked out her first outfit. I know. But I only picked out her first outfit, and I didn't do the rest of it. I mean, she kind of fits with the rest of the townies. I will say that. She fits with the rest of the townies this way. This because Max has auto-generated all these clothes. Let's change her into this real quick. And then did it go in there? No. Did it? No. Oh, come on. Please go in there. I guess now that I've changed her, maybe if I find a hamper with clothes in it, we'll test it then. I don't know. Let's try this again real quick. We'll change her back into her outfit and see if the clothes go in there. No, they didn't. So I don't know where they went. We won't test that one. What we'll do instead is we'll go upstairs and we'll take a look at our bedrooms. Now, we've got two good-sized bedrooms up here. The first one, as you can see, it fits a whole sofa. I thought another use for this type of unit is roommates, people sharing a house. And so I put a sofa up here. There's a dresser in addition to the walk-in closet for more storage. They've each got private baths. So there's some privacy, if you want to. In real life, there would be some privacy. Sims don't care. But in real life, you would have some privacy up here where you could get away, maybe read, watch your iPad or something, right? This is a very kind of clean look. I like it. I like this look a lot, in fact, very clean. Here in the closet, it's the Dream Home Decorator closet, so all of it, works to change clothes. And then we've got, like I said, a small bathroom for basically a single person. This is an ensuite bath, right? And there's not much else to say about it. Someone who really kind of keeps everything cleaned up lives in that both these spaces, really. This room, I would say the bedroom might feel and probably is a little bit smaller, but we have a really big closet, right? So when the two roommates are kind of deciding who's going where, maybe they'll work it out that way. Again, we've got some private area here, though, to hang out in. If I were the owner, I'd probably take this room, since I'm probably going to have more access to the main house. And I'd probably want more storage space since I live there permanently, right? Kind of a permanent live fixture in the place. The bathroom is a little bit bigger too in this particular unit. Again, it's got 2 sinks, so you can kind of envision it for a couple in this room. 2 sinks, the tub, the toilet, a towel, right? And a towel. And then, of course, our walk-in closet, all of the Dream Home Decorator setup, which I love, by the way. If you've never bought that game pack, I highly recommend it. It's probably one of the best game packs out there. Has a very entertaining career, which I still enjoy doing still today, and I've done it a lot. And I still really like it. It's got some fantastic build-buy items, probably some of the best, most useful build-buy items. I use them all the time. They are really, really excellent. Now, this is cool, though, too. I've put these suitcases in a few areas, and they'll come and use them as well and live in and out of it. And they'll fit in remarkably small areas. I don't know if I'm going to come across one. Maybe over in the 3-bedroom we will. I put it in a 2x1 closet, and you could still, the sim would walk in there and still use it. So it doesn't require a lot of clearance to resolve routing issues. Now, that is our 2-bedroom, our furnished 2-bedroom. As I said, there's an unfurnished one, so you want to do your own thing. Go in and do your own thing. This is the Michelson's house. This was a 3-bedroom. This was a 3-bedroom with a family room. Okay, so this here would have been a family room with a large guest bath, maybe for overnight guests, and, closet area. Instead, Grandma has moved in with them. Grandma Michelson here has moved in with them to help take care of the kid, take care of baby Orion and Atlas, right? And so while the parents work, and she doesn't want to live on her own, so she's going to live there. I really, really like this 3-bedroom, and I'll tell you, one thing I love is there's a kid's water park right outside, right? So if I had kids, I do have a kid, and when he was little, I would have loved that. You can sit right here on your front porch, right? You can rock in this chair. You can play in the water. You got a little park area here for older kids to swing on swings, and even a place for adults, maybe from the other houses, come and sit and hang out. You could talk right across, right, to your neighbors here on this other side. I don't know. I'm just in love with it. I would love to live right here in this house. And I did put a lot of work in this house. There's probably a whole lot more character to this house than the other two. And I have a family actually living here, so I tried to provide character based on how I imagine them and how they are in my game. And what we have when you walk in, of course, is a living area, right, with a fireplace. I did set the fireplace back into the chimney area here as I did on a couple of the other units. It gives us more space. I created a little office area, but what I feel is more like a real office area. The other 2 units are a little decorator, right? They look like they're about to be photographed for Home and Living magazine or something. This is where real people live. So yeah, this is their office, but they also have some hobbies tucked in here, right? They have some other sort of books and magazines tucked in here. It looks like real people kind of live here. The furniture's a little mismatched for the same reason. This is stuff they've collected over the years. Now, I will say this. I obviously added a window. I obviously came in here and added a window at some point. After I'd hung that picture. So let's move that over here, shall we? Let's move that right over here. That's part of the reason why I am doing this tour. I've changed a couple of things already. Going to try to catch some of those mistakes along the way. I like the window better than that picture anyway, right? So back to what I was saying, you've got someone who lives here for a long time and they're real people. So, they're people they saw this one day at a garage sale or a thrift store and I just love that. So they bought it and put it in the entryway. It doesn't matter if it doesn't match everything else, right? Because in real life, oftentimes things don't match everything else. The things we've bought in our lives, the things we collect in our lives are just things we happen to like in the moment. Maybe this chair, when she was in college, she bought this at the Moroccan Bazaar, and she still likes it. So it's going to go in the living room because she still likes it. Mrs. Michelson, right? They like a lot of different colors. Everything, has a lot of color and vibrancy. The rug's very vibrant. And that's kind of where I envision them being. They also like family, so they have a big dining room table. They have they have the high chair right by the table. So little baby Orion's right there with them eating, The kitchen is pretty good size here. We've got a good place to eat in the kitchen, second dining area. I also stuck these sort of things in the empty picture frames. Again, when I play with this sort of thing, I would go through and take pictures of the family, the different family members, and put in there because, again, that's more realistic. A lot of families put family photos on the walls or on a desk or wherever. And so I do stick those in. You'll see these empty frames every so often for that purpose. Here in the kitchen, again, we have like a mismatched dishwasher, right? There was no green dishwasher anywhere in The Sims. And I just decided, you know what? They like lots of different colors. Maybe this dishwasher, they owned it already. Maybe they brought it with them. Maybe the dishwasher came with the house and they brought these appliances with them, right? Maybe their dishwasher broke and grandma had a dishwasher and she's like, oh, I still got my dishwasher from my house. Let's just put that in there. Again, it's a real family type scenario. They didn't move in here with a decorator. They brought things with them from a lot of steps in the past. So I just left it blue. I thought, let's just leave it blue. Why not? Why not? Back here in the very back, we have, again, the combo guest bath and laundry room. Now, if this was not used as a bedroom, if this was used as a family room, you wouldn't have to put a guest bath in here. You could take the toilet out, put another cabinet there, just use it as just a laundry room, or you could maybe put some sort of mud bench there or something like that, right? Come in off the back porch, use the mud bench. And in fact, in that case, you could even, you could probably pull it like this, right? So that you really enter from the back porch. It might require a little rearranging here and stuff, but it's possible. Now, I am going to play test real quick because we do have some laundry here. Let's make sure that this does work with the cabinet up above it. Let's bring grandma over. Whoops. Do. There she is. Let's have her do the laundry, add to the washing machine. There we go. Does work. It is far enough away. It does seem like not having any troubles here. Wash the laundry. Got to remember to come back later and have her put it into the dryer, right? Before I upload this. Now her room, this is grandma's room. Again, you're talking about a person with history. She has brought a lot of things with her and they are very colorful, right? She's got a colorful sofa. She's got colorful chairs. She's got two different scarves or tablecloths on the table, right? She's got her picture frame to put all of her family photos in. She's got the furniture kind of matches. I kind of imagine this as maybe sunroom furniture that she really liked and she brought with her because it's a little bit smaller. So it's going to fit a little bit easier in her room, right? And oh boy, excuse me there. And she's going to fit a little bit smaller in her room. And, she's got a rug she really likes. She's got a Moroccan table. She's got a lamp from some vacation, right? This is what I called the family heirloom because it looks kind of like a Victorian hall mirror. So this is probably something her grandmother had and she's carrying it along into the future, right? So on this wall, I see her as someone who does travel. Like I said, she's got kind of that lamp, or the lighthouse from travels. Here's some other things, she's gotten from travels. Maybe these came from different travels. Who can say, right? Few books here so she can read. And I did set up this table and chairs in her room again. So if she has someone over, they can play cards there. And it could actually be moved out into the middle of the room. And you could bring these chairs in here and you could have a group of 4. So if she wanted to have 4 friends over, she could have 4 friends over kind of in her own room and have her own privacy, right? And play some cards or just hang out and drink wine and be messy. I don't know. Whatever it is that old people do, that's what she's going to do in that room. And this back porch is accessible from the kitchen, of course. But in this case, the family pretty much has turned it over to grandma, right? Let's give her her own private outdoor space. Let's give her some place she can sit out here. I love this, right? She can sit out here, kind of see people coming through, cutting through, you know, the little park area out on the street. Give them a little wave, give them a little hello, but it's still kind of private back here. She's got some place where she can do some container gardening. And I went ahead and conveniently gave her a picture out here when she can mix up a few little margaritas on the rocks, or what would you mix up? What's that stuff called? Oh man, I can't remember the name of that drink. You know that drink with like wine and fruit in it? What's that? Sangria. Sangria. She's going to mix up some sangria for her friends and her. They're going to hang out here on the back porch, have a nice afternoon in the sun. So that's kind of her back porch, kind of her private area. Now, on the second floor here, we're going to go into the Michelson's room first, the adults, right? Again, we have a room built on history. They have a lot of different things they like. A lot of things from the past, things they've collected over time. They did not come in here with a decorator, blah, blah, blah. There's a place for her to do a little knitting, though. Kind of a place to hang out here by these front windows. Place to, read, store some stuff. One of them likes to paint, right? We got a little paint set up over here. Do a little painting. I kind of imagine you could store some painting stuff in this as well. And once they were painting, I'd probably hang a couple of pictures here that they had painted, kind of dressed up a little bit more, give it a little more realism. Much like Grandma, they also have frames up here to put pictures of the kids in. Now, there is a baby bed here in the adult's bedroom. Why? Because when you have a baby, when you're an adult and you have a baby, even when you have a beautiful nursery, which we're about to see, chances are you're going to break down. You're going to put that crib in your bedroom. And in reality, I'll tell you, in reality, let's go here into build mode. It's going to be more like that, right? Because you're going to move this over here and you're going to put this right here. Because after about 3 days, when that baby wakes up every hour on the hour and you've had 4 hours of sleep in 3 days, you're going to put it here so you can roll over, pick it up, bring it back to bed, and bottle feed it or whatever you're doing, breastfeed it, whatever you've chosen to do, and easily put her right back where she belongs, right? So yeah, that is why I put that there, for a little bit of realism, because I mean, that's just reality. I have a kid. I know how it is. It is tough. It's tough all the way through the toddler years with sleep, that's for sure. And especially because when they're sleeping, I can't talk for everybody, but like me, when my kid was sleeping, it was right across the hall, the stair landing from my room. And I'm not kidding. I mean, he could roll over and I would wake up, right? The cat would walk across the hall, I'd wake up. Like, who's there? Is my kid okay? Is my kid okay? Is my baby okay? I mean, you're on like this heightened sense of alert as a parent, right? So that's another reason why it's just easier to have that baby right there. They've got a nice walk-in closet and a nice master bathroom. The only thing that's a little small in this bathroom, of course, right off the bat, there's only one, sink to use here. So it is a little bit smaller than a lot of people might like. This bathroom could be extended. You could extend it into this nursery. And I almost did. I mean, I kind of played around with that at one point where I brought it out like this, right? And then you would have room to do that and put another sink right there, right? So there is that option to do that. I just, there's plenty of bathrooms and stuff in this house, and I just decided, it's not needed. It's not needed, and I think it looks fine that way. And I have lived in houses where, even though it was a master bath, you still only had one sink. That's the way it is. Now, the nursery for little baby Orion, this is what we've got going over here. I do like this nursery. Well, obviously I do. I made it, right? If I didn't like it, I would have remade it, but I do like it. There's baby Orion right there. I didn't know she was in here. Oh, well, someone better check on her before social services shows up. She's got a nice nursery or changing table. It is designed to go into childhood with her. One thing I did too is I put a more direct entrance to the parents' room through this archway. so that when she maybe does start sleeping more through the night, and if you decide to put her in her crib, it's just easier to get there, right? It is easier. You don't have to leave any doors open. And then once she gets older, that's pretty easy to take that out and kind of patch that wall and repaint, you know? So that's kind of why that is there. Baby Orion, this is the part where we're starting to set up for childhood, even though she is still an infant. But as she becomes a toddler and stuff, she's going to need places to play. She needs shelves to put toys on, right? I did not put a toy chest in here yet, but at one point I did have one here by the window, so it does fit okay. You could, when you take this out, you can put the dollhouse there, things like that. And through here, we have a walk-in closet. Now, again, in the interest of realism, I didn't outfit this walk-in closet because in reality, this child's an infant. And everything she has is going to fit in these drawers or maybe in drawers over here. Or there's just going to be a dresser out here. And I thought, you know, if I put up a bunch of adults' clothing from Dream Home Decorator in there, it doesn't look right. Why would that be there for an infant's room or a child's room even? Although I use it for children's rooms. So I kind of thought, you know, this is a sort of space when you first move into your house and you think, oh my God, we've got so much space. We will never fill this all up. Guilty. I certainly thought that. I thought I had all the space in the world. And then, you know, 10 years later, you're like, Christ almighty, where did I get all this stuff? Where did this come from? But so that's kind of an example of that. It's still kind of empty. She's not grown up yet. You know, she hasn't had time to fill her closet up yet. Orion hasn't. This is the kids' bathroom. It's a Jack and Jill bath. They enter, you know, through their closets. It is a bathroom just for the kids. They've got their separate sinks here, a tub, and a toilet. And a tub with shower, right? Out on the landing, we've got a place to put some more family photos and a small kind of library area. Here's an example of using Dream Home Decorator for a child's closet. I did outfit it to some limited extent with their clothes and shoes. Again, fairly realistically for a closet that mom is or dad is keeping clean, right? Because again, kids haven't really filled all this space up yet. And parents are usually a whole lot better about tossing out their kids' clothes as they grow them out, outgrow them than their own, right? Because we don't outgrow our clothes when we're adults. We just keep buying new ones and cramming them in with the old ones and things get more and more full. So with kids, if a parent is maintaining the closet, it's usually pretty cleaned up. Atlas over here, he has a desk area, right? He's doing some crafts. He's got a computer. He's also got this sort of science area. He's got some pictures of friends and a place to put some actual pictures of friends or family. Here's his playhouse, you know, instead of putting down a rug, I put down a, you know, the cushiony blanket, right? He and his friends spend a lot of time down on the floor playing. It's what these pillows are all for, kind of sprawl out, play some games, play some Legos, so on and so forth. Back over here, because they do travel a lot, he collects postcards, you know, from his travels. Of course, he does. And so he's got them, you know, on his wall. As he gets new ones, he puts them into place. Here's his bed by the window, naturally. He likes dinosaurs. He also likes rockets. Atlas, as his name implies, right? Atlas is going to hold the world on his shoulders. He's going to go into outer space. He's going to hold the world on his shoulders. That's his dream. He's going to head to the moon. He's going to head to Mars, right? So that's why he's into science. You know, he's got this rocket, he's got his computer to do research. He's doing science stuff over here. He's a smart kid. He is going to outer space. And in fact, you know, I'd love to play this family at some point and really raise him up to the science career and send him in a rocket to outer space, right? Right. Now, let me get a drink of water there. Now, you know, we're basically, that's it. You know, that's our tour. Over here, we do have a empty version of the 3-bedroom. You can see in this one, it is set up a little bit different. I just used regular closet spaces here. I did the bathroom with dual sinks. And with the kids' bath, what did I do here? Let me look at this for a minute. Maybe I need to finish this off. I thought this was done, but this is looking a little wonky to me. So, oh, no. This is, okay, I'm looking at it a little backwards. This is the adults' room in this version. This is their bath. This is their walk-in closet. And that's a toilet closet. And the adults have 2 sinks, yes. And that's their bedroom. This is a child's bedroom. This is a child's bedroom. That's why they have the standard closet opening. And they have this Jack and Jill bath. Okay, now it's making sense. Christ, if it doesn't make sense to me, I can't imagine someone when they first see this. But that is definitely what that is intended to be, is the adults are here. Let me grab this jutting exterior trim here. Are there any mistakes on this side? It looks okay. Down here on the first floor, again, we've got a much larger living area. It's set up pretty much the same way as the Michelsons, except over here, we've got a large family room that could be used as a guest bedroom with like a pull-out sofa or something. I did not finish the bath off here, but you can, or you can turn it into something else. This is an example of the laundry room without a bath in it. You know, pretty good example there. The back porch on this particular model is larger. You have a larger back porch, maybe for grilling, you know, family grill out there. And I put an example of how you might put the garbage, you know, here in the back. I didn't put garbage cans everywhere, which might end up being a mistake. Although if I were actively using this lot, I always get the garbage can that just vaporizes the garbage anyway. Just save myself some work. But your Sims would have to walk all the way out here with garbage, or you have to put a few more garbage cans in, I think, elsewhere on this lot. I might put some garbage cans in over by the Michelsons. We're going to try to fix this a little bit here. Come on. There we go. And on this side. And we've got a nice little outdoor area here. I do like this, by the way, particular front with the sort of Asian theme. That's probably my favorite sort of little landscaping vignette that I did in this particular build is this one here. I think it looks really kind of charming, right? Kind of charming. Little fountain there and all. And that's one thing with these lots. Now I'll say, with this particular build, and everyone owns their own home here, right? This is common area. This is common area maintenance, but everyone does own their own home, and they have different levels of private outdoor space, different levels of space kind of reserved for their unit. And you know, this larger back porch is a good example of that. You could have no back porch, or a smaller back porch here might be an option, and then you just have some little outdoor space. This might be an example of someone who did that. Maybe this unit costs more because it has more land around it, but they like to garden, and so they put in a small garden here and some beekeeping, and you know, little exit there off the bathroom is what I'm trying to say, off the guest bath. So when they're outside gardening, they come into the guest bath, wash their hands up, clean up, right? Kind of like a mud room, go into the rest of the house. So they had that. And over here is kind of another example. She's got this little kind of patch of backyard over here. She has brought a table out here, set up a chair. Again, kind of place where you can just kind of sit and watch the world go by, watch people kind of come through, wave to your neighbors, stuff like that, right? Right. And then back here she does, I don't know why I say she, I imagine a female living here, I guess. But she lives back here and has a little place to cook out, right, off the kitchen. Okay, so obviously, if it's not obvious, I do love this build. And if I do say so myself, I do love this build, and I love this concept for housing. Nothing would make me happier than if we did have, at least at some point, the ability to do this in The Sims. I don't necessarily, because of the way the programming works. I really probably won't, but it would be really great. For now, I'm going to just call it good. Fingers crossed. I think I caught most of the little mistakes kind of tossed in there. But fingers crossed. Hopefully I did. If not, hopefully a builder downloads this, you know, and they can fix anything they come across, right? So we're going to go into the save mode here. Eucalyptus Lane. I guess the picture looks okay. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's see what that one looks nice enough, right? That looks okay. That looks okay. Let's see here. Between the gorgeous views, let's see. Just erase all of this. And then we'll upload this up. And then I'm going to take a quick look at Oasis Valley. Oasis Valley is the closest I've ever come to an Old West build. And I built it a long time ago. We'll kind of talk about that more here in a little bit. But I built that actually quite some time ago. Excuse me, I've already mentioned my allergies here in the great state of Oklahoma, which took like hundreds of years to settle. Excuse me. It took hundreds of years to settle by European settlers because it sucked. No, but the weather here is really crazy. It gets really cold in the winter and really hot in the summer. And there's just tons of allergens everywhere all the time. Now, the description for this place. A community-based housing arrangement in the 20th century LA bungalow apartment style. See, seven homes, 3 decorated, 4 empty for decoration. Let's see, children's play area. Okay, so hopefully that's enough. I don't know. I never write too much in this. I never get too much into hashtags and stuff. I mean, I don't know how many people search by hashtag, really. It's got 1,000 bedrooms. We'll put down 9. No, I don't know. How many bedrooms is that? 4, 7, more than 9. More than 9 bathrooms. I might put, well, let's put hashtag San Sequoia. Probably people are long done looking for houses for San Sequoia at this point. This is my last home build for this community. And probably like 10 people will download it, right? I probably should have done it first, but I didn't, so there you go. What else could I put as a hashtag? Children's play area, hashtag San Sequoia. That's it. I'm not going to do anything else. Okay, let's upload it. Did it work? I did. It did work. Let's see here. We've shared lot 7, Eucalyptus Lane. There we go. Ah, lovely. How I use this sort of lot, I'll say real quick before we sign off here on this particular build. Normally, I will put a family in a particular house like the Michelsons, right? And then I'll lock all the rest of the houses so that they remain with just that house, basically, and then the common area. Then using, like, say, MC Command Center or maybe Full House Mod from Twisted Mexi, I will move some other families into this zone, oftentimes pre-mades, that I do want to still be available to the community at large, but I don't necessarily want taking up a home and a lot. Because we don't have a lot of lots, so, I might build up to, say, 10 or 12 people on this lot, maybe 3 or 4 different families. Assign them each a house, lock them out of everything else. And then they'll have someplace to live in-game, and they'll still be out and about in the community, and they can kind of be friends with my Sims, come over to my Sims' homes, stuff like that. Then if my Sim comes to their home, I might open up one of the houses to my particular Sim, right? Or Sims coming over to visit and interact with the family that we're actually visiting at that time. So that's how I do use it a lot like this. And it's also just great decor. It just kind of fits the real life vibe that I want in the game. So that's how I would use it. And let's go take a look at Oasis Valley real quick. I'm really starting to get into Oasis Valley again. Let's see here, go to Manage Worlds. Now, Oasis Valley I built a long time ago. I built Oasis Valley back not too long after, or maybe actually right before. I think, yeah, right before City Living came out. So I did not have a lot of packs to use for Oasis Valley. Oasis Valley was meant to be a small town outside of Oasis proper, because, you know, those two large lots kind of set outside the city, right, of Oasis. And it was supposed to be maybe an old mining community because the mine shaft, you know, the old mine that you can enter is at the bottom of the hill. So I thought, let's build an old mining community here above the old gold mine, which again is down here, right? Still open, still ready to be entered, as my Sims have done in the past. I thought, hey, let's build an old west town to go there. This was actually it tied into some sort of challenge. I don't remember the challenge necessarily being for an old west town, though. I feel like that's just what I built for it. I don't know. I think, though, that's the case. And because I just thought, well, and I built the sim, Reg, my primary sim, Brian Reginald, or Reg, for that same challenge. And Reg actually is one of the, I've only had 3 Max's faves in my life. I had Reg, right? Reg was a Max's fave. And because when you won that particular competition, it was through the Sims forum. Part of the deal was they would refer you for a Max's fave, and basically everybody that won did get favorited by Max's from that competition group, except for me. Except for me. And as I won it all the time, I almost never got a fave. I don't think whoever gives out those faves, I do not think they like me at Max's. That's okay. Because you know what? If I met them, I probably wouldn't like them either. But I do think whoever gives out the faves just does not like me. So fuck them. But anyway, in this case, they forgot or had amnesia. I did complain once. I did complain to the people that ran that competition. I was like, you know, I've won how many competitions, never got a Max's fave. Everyone else does. And I mean that seriously. Like universally, everyone else did. And not too long after that, I did get a fave. And it was Reg. And for the sim, it was and he's not a fave any longer. I ended up with 3 from that competition over time. I don't know how many competitions I won, 10, maybe something like that. All 3 of them got taken away. So even though I did get those faves, I got a fave for Reg. I got a fave for a very small house build, like a 20 by 15 build, and I cannot remember the limitations of the competition, but I did it as a brutalist starter home, so made out of concrete. Used almost no packs, essentially, of course, back in those days. And it had to be under a certain amount of money, had to all be on one level, stuff like that. That got a fave. Those 2 did. And then I did a room. That was a fashion school of fashion. Again, for that same competition, and it got a fave. All 3 of them got taken away at some point. I don't know when or why, but it really didn't matter any longer because it was long enough that nobody was seeing them that far back anyway, because there's Max's faves all the time, right? But I did. Reg was like the first one. That's the story. Long story short, Reg was the first one. Now, this particular build, as you can see, you know, I tried to set up a little town square, kind of a traditional Western town, train station, a sort of hotel, a family home, little desert pond, This was the saloon and a barber shop. I guess I could drop down here. We'll take a look at everything. Let's start on this side. We had a stables, of course, right? Small town stables here. Now, again, I posted a picture of this online. You can really see what we had to work with, right? I tried to make some hay, a little place to drink water for the horse, kind of a brush, like a brush for the horse. Horse's blanket, right? I didn't have a lot to work with, you guys. Cut me some slack. But yeah, I did definitely try to give the look. I couldn't come up with really... I ended up not doing anything as a door or a fence because I wanted it to be accessible, and I guess nothing was working. I think I tried this gate from the saloon and just didn't like the way it looked. Didn't think it looked right. I don't know. Over here, naturally, was a general store, right? Wouldn't have an Old West town without a general store. Since it is a general store in an Old West town, they've even got stuff like furniture because those stores held everything, right? And chances are, if you're going to have something delivered, say, by Sears, maybe have something delivered by Sears, a Sears catalog in the 1880s, 1890s, the train might bring it here and drop it off at the store, and you would pick it up at the store, right? So, someone ordered some fancy furniture from the Sears catalog, maybe for that fancier house over there. Little stuff stored outside too. Some lumber, for building. Lumber, crates of stuff. Next to that was a post office. Post office here. Again, little slots for the mail. All of this was just set dressing, of course. We don't have a post office in game, right? No. But it was kind of set dressing. I thought it was cute. I did like it. For storytelling, stuff like that. Go up to the counter, deal with the postman. This was a dressmaker shop or kind of a tailor, right? Nice waiting room, sit and wait for the seamstress, place to check out your new look, and then a little place back here where they worked, right? So try to set up the idea of some sewing notions, fabrics, something she's working on, some stuff she's completed, right? Got some shirts back here. Stuff like that. Now, I guess this was meant to be a lawyer's office. That's what I'm thinking. Again, you've got all these books, right? You got where he'd hang his degrees. Probably fake degrees because this is the Old West, so this guy's probably a shyster and he just came from out east somewhere and said, "Look at me, I'm a lawyer. Let me help you get off." And who knows if he was really a lawyer? Probably not. Just hung out a shingle here and made pretend, right? He is conveniently located next to the jail. This is the jail here for the town. I don't know if I originally had a wall here and took it out. No, I don't think I did. Because there's only one toilet for these criminals back here with a little sink. A place, 2 bunks for them to sleep. Place for the jailman to, sheriff to sit, right? And then over here we had a combination bank and courthouse, right? Because the town is too small and too poor to afford to build a full-size courthouse. So the bank came in and helped pay for the structure, and in exchange, kind of has one half of it for banking. So again, you're going to have kind of some teller booths here, right? Back here was the safe with the safe deposit boxes and the spot where you go to check out. If you get a box, you want to get stuff in and out of it. That's where you sit to do that. We had a bathroom back here, which would have been unheard of probably in the 1880s, 1890s, even in a bank. But I went ahead and put one in just in case, right? Actually, it would have been an outhouse. Let's be realistic. It would have been a lot closer to the bathroom I set up for the jail, I think. But we're going to pretend like this town is flush with gold. The gold mine's pumping out gold like crazy. People are building like crazy. This is going to be the town of the future. So they have like nice Victorian style bathrooms. This is the thing though. Now I had forgotten about this. If you'll notice, this is not the toilet from Vampires. We didn't have Vampires yet. So we didn't have a tank toilet, like an over-the-toilet tank toilet. But I did create, or tried to create, that look, right? Where you would have a tank over the toilet because the water would be stored here. And then when you pulled this plunger, the water would rush down and flush the toilet out. So we didn't have that yet. Like I said, it's before city living. So that was my creation there of a toilet with a tank. On the other side, we had the courthouse. I did set up, again, a couple of windows here so you could come and do city business maybe. Maybe you're going to file your claim on the gold mine, right? You're going to file your claim where you found some gold. You got a place here to, I don't know, talk to a clerk or something, right? They've also got bathrooms back here. Like I said, this is a town flush with money. On the second floor, we've got the judge's chamber, you know. Got a place for our jury. We've got a place for the prosecution and the defense and some spectators. You know, the judge sits back here. And I guess, yeah, this would be the witness, right? Where, you know, whoever you're questioning over here. Little cell, you know, little cell to hold prisoners until it came their time before the judge. And then the judge's office, right? The judge's office. This really took forever to build. I mean, I was on this build for a long, long time. As you can well imagine. Over here at a small train station. Again, where the train dropped off some packages, place to wait for the train. Another place to wait for the train. And some ticket booths to buy tickets on the train. Kind of a mock schedule and a clock. This was, of course, as I said, sort of a hotel was the idea. Sort of rooming house, a boarding house, or a hotel. There was something, I mocked it up a bit like a cafe. Like a cafe here on this one side, some tables to eat at, and a kitchen in the back. Again, this is before city living, and this is before dine out. So I couldn't put an actual restaurant set up in here. I just put a kitchen. You go make your food, you come out here and eat. The boarding house had its own dining room. But I think I did kind of, as you can tell, I had this sort of idea that whoever owned the boarding house also owned the cafe side, right? And there's a common hallway here so that the boarding house uses the same kitchen as the cafe. This one has a second floor with some bedrooms for rent, doubles and single, and a common bathroom. And then, let's see, what else is there? Is there anything up here? No. Over here was my family home. The rich family in town, probably the one that owns the general store over there. Fancy Pants has a proper parlor set up when you come in. Nice dining room, and then a kitchen with a bath. Again, more of a setup for realism. It would not have been unheard of in the old days to have the bathtub in the kitchen. After all, you're going to heat your water for your bath right here on this stove and dump it in, right? So that was kind of to keep it real. Here on the top floor, we had 2 bedrooms, one for mom and dad and the baby, and one for a couple of kids. Pretty small. Houses back then were pretty small, especially out in the wild west. There, you know, weren't a lot of people to build and wasn't a lot of wood to build. So it was pretty small quarters. They have a mock pond back here. We did not have a pond creation tool, obviously, at that time. I did, however, put fish in place using the bug, right? And you could swim in it. You could take a swim here if you want in the old fishing hole, and a place for kids to play games. On this side, God, sometimes I'm looking at this thinking, God bless, this thing is huge, right? I definitely made a mistake here. Probably should have put some wood on these walls. It's kind of weird. I don't know if I did that from the start or not, but so on this side, we had a barber, right? And again, the barber, I was trying to set it up, anything to use for a barber. But I tried to set it up that way, you know, a couple of sinks and some chairs where you're going to cut your hair, a whole bunch of products. Guys used a lot of products back then. Got this cabinet with more products on it. I threw in a couple of bookshelves. These are gentlemen here having their nails and hair done. Sophisticated people who are now rich from the gold mine. They want to look the part of a Victorian gentleman. And they're going to read cultured Victorian gentleman. And then for people passing through or people who live in a hotel without a common bathroom, there's a place to take a bath, right? A lot of barbershops and places like that would have had a place to take a bath back in the day. So you've got a place to take a bath, change your clothes, things like that. Excuse me. So then next to that, we've got a couple of public restrooms. Again, I just put them in just for convenience sake. But these are probably closer to real because they would be more like outhouses. And that's basically what these are. This is supposed to be set up to look like rainwater fills up a cistern, right? A cistern. Sometimes I put a bucket under there like a barrel. In this case, I made it an actual sink because then when they came out of here, there was a sink to wash their hands and they wouldn't wander all over town looking for a place to wash their hands. This was the saloon, needless to say. The saloon, a lot of places to sit and hang out, play cards, get a drink, and upstairs, as you can well imagine, there were some places to rent for the night, not quite as nice as the hotel over there, but some places you could rent for the night, and when you needed a bath, you could go to the barbershop next door. I also imagine some of these places, like say maybe this one, might have been where there would be a comfort lady who would entertain a gentleman for the evening, maybe a couple of gentlemen for the evening, and that would be her room, right? So, and maybe a gentleman might just rent this on his own or this on his own. But yeah, they're probably realistically, back in the Old West, let's be real, you would have had a few ladies on hand that would have been there to provide comfort. To all the lonely gentlemen, spent a hard day down the mine, looking for gold. They found gold and they're willing to trade it right here to her for a little companionship. And that was our saloon. I did put this walkway out here. There's no way to access it. I guess I didn't like the way the door looked, so I didn't do it. But yeah, those particular ladies would raise these tall windows and come out here onto the walkway and do a bit of a promenade to talk to gentlemen down below and welcome them into the casino, into the saloon. This was a horse trough, by the way. Put the horse trough here, and once upon a time I had, do I still have it out here? No, because there's another one over here by the courthouse. Once upon a time I did have the horse doll, the little toy that looks like a horse. I did have that out here, blown up big, like he was getting a drink, so you could kind of tell what it's for. But that is it. That's the horse trough. I'm not real sure. I must have made it with, how did I make it? Swimming pool, I guess? An above ground swimming pool? Is that what that is? Guess so. Multicolor pool trim, yeah. So I did a swimming pool and then I just, intersected it with that log, with the bench, right? The bench. And voila, now the horses can have a drink. And that's it. That's Oasis Valley. So I'm going to start rehabbing this, obviously, once the new pack comes out. I might do a little bit of work on it because God knows we have a ton of packs since then. And I did do a few other sort of country builds for Strangerville, but nothing that was an Old West build except for this. I can't think of any other Old West builds that I've done. But yeah, I might start rehabbing a little bit with what we've already got in game. We'll see. Might do some live streaming of that. But for sure, when the new pack gets here with all the Old West stuff, I'm going to come in, do some changing around, and across the street, we're going to work on this. We're going to go over there and take a look at it. I'm almost embarrassed to show it because it is so early on. It is so early on. But I'm working on a ranch. And basically what I would consider a millionaire's ranch, to be honest. A lot of ranches you see in Architectural Digest and stuff are millionaire ranches, where people just have a big plot of land and maybe someone works it, but not the person that owns the house. And their family goes there. It's kind of a vacation house, right? Place to hang out, have a beautiful view of the mountains, stuff like that. So that's what I'm working on. The bad thing is I hate to get too much done on it. I've done this for 9 years. Build something great, and then you get the pack and you find out none of the lots fit, right? None of the lots fit. And you made it way too big, and then I'm kind of, Del Sol's a good example of that. And then I'm trying to, scramble to adapt it to what I finally learn is coming, right? But this is kind of where I'm stand at the moment. I don't know. Kinda. It has a vibe, that's for sure. You know what I like? I like the chimney. I like the chimney. I like this kind of as a concept, these overhangs, because it is hot. And this is kind of getting there. I'm kind of unhappy with the way the windows are intersecting here, but it's kind of getting there. I'm going to have kind of an angled area to come out this way. The bad thing is, of course, I think this is a 30 by 40 lot. It's just not very big. It's not very big. And if I want a view, I kind of need it out this way, facing that way. But that needs some work too, and it's going to get more work in the future. You can see we have kind of a 2-story space here. Probably like living area, kitchen over here, family room. Don't know. Dining or something. One thing I'm worried about with the new pack horses is, ranches are typically really large. I mean, typically. And even when you have a family ranch, the space with the house and the barn and the cellar and the stable and, other outbuildings is usually a fairly good size. It's really, so far I didn't see anything in the trailer that really looked like a ranch size lot. I mean, you really need at least a 50 by 50 and probably more a 64 by 64. I saw a really cute house in the trailer, and it did have a little stable attached, like instead of a garage, So like where the 2-car garage would be, it was a stable, and it was cute. It was a cute house. It was modern farmhouse style. At least it was cute from the outside anyway. And it was cute. But I'm like, that's not really a ranch. It's not really how they do it. You're not typically going to hook your stable to your house. Not generally. And you're going to have like a big mechanical barn and then a stable barn and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that we do get some big lots, you guys, with the horse ranch. I hope we get at least, my hope is like 4 64 by 64 lots. And then a smattering of smaller ones in town is fine. That's fine. Smattering of smaller ones in town is good. I'm good with that. But that is as close as I've gotten so far to a ranch build. Don't laugh. Please don't laugh. No, go ahead and laugh. I'm laughing too. For now, please hit like, subscribe, and notify. We will be back later today for touring Fantasy Save Files, the Fantasy Save File tours I've been doing. We'll be back later today doing some of that. And we'll be back later in life working some more on builds for The Sims 4. I am going to try to start analyzing the trailer again and try to figure out the size of some of the lots in the trailer based on the size of the houses on them. And maybe at least build some small houses that could go on those lots, start developing some ideas and plans for those houses that would work for a small country town, at least in Oklahoma, and maybe for a small ranch, maybe for a tiny house ranch. That's actually not a bad idea. I could maybe do like a tiny house ranch. So like a tiny stable and a tiny house and a tiny mechanical barn. So everything's like tiny and shrunken down. I think I'm going to do that. I think I will. So I'm going to analyze those lots and figure out what size they are. And then I'm going to start streaming and do a tiny house ranch for the 21st century, for the millennial, right? For the millennial, for the Zoomer. We're going to do a tiny house ranch. I love tiny houses. I do. I really do love them. We're going to do a tiny house ranch with little tiny structures, but everything you need for a ranch. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start looking at that. So again, please, in the meantime, please hit like, subscribe, and notify so that you don't miss that or anything else here on the RM Cascadian channel. And as always,